Hey, what's up YouTube? This is me making another Magic the Gathering deck tech video as I normally do. This time I am making my all green deck video and I hope you guys enjoy. We have 25 green lands to start this deck off right here. Lots and lots and lots of green land. As you guys can see, forest. And then we're going to get into the sorceries of the deck. We have Howl of the Night Pack. It is a 7 mana cost, 1 green, 6 colorless. Put a 2/2 green wolf creature token onto the battlefield for each forest you control. So this just builds your field up like crazy. Like, it's nuts. We have Ranger's Path as another card we have. It's to 4-drop. It's 1 green, 3 colorless. Search your library for 2 basic land for 2 forest cards and put them onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle your library. So that's another one that's really good. We have, this is my favorite one. It's a big game winning one if you have it at the end of the game. Overrun. 5-drop, 3 green, 2 colorless. Creatures you control get a +3/+3 and trample until end of turn. So every creature gets +3/+3 and trample. It's absolutely insanity. Oh, that's loud. I'm sorry, guys. We have our next card here, Rampant Growth, as we've all seen before. 1 green, 1 colorless. Search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and shuffle your library. We have another card, Mischief and Mayhem. 5-drop, 1 green, 4 colorless, and up to 2 target creatures get a +4/+4 until end of turn. Another one is called Fido Burst. 2-drop, and a target creature gets a +5/+5 until end of turn with 1 green and 1 colorless. Seek the Horizon is our next sorcery card in here. We got 1 green, 3 colorless, and we got search your library for up to 3 basic land cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. So that's another good card we have. Hunt for the Weak is our next good card. 4-drop, 1 green, 3 colorless. Put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature you control, then that target creature fights another target creature you don't control. The +1/+1 stays on it, by the way. Revive is another one. We have 1 green, 1 colorless. Return a target green card from your graveyard to your hand. Peregrination. 1 green, 3 colorless, 4 drops. Search your library for 2 basic land cards. Reveal those cards. Put one onto the battlefield tapped, the other in your hand. Shuffle your library, then scry 1. Look at the top card. Decide if you want to put it at the bottom. Let's get into the instance of the deck. Fog. Really good instant. 1 green, prevent all damage this turn. Titanic Growth. Another really good instant. +1 or 1 green mana, 1 colorless, and +4/+4 until end of turn. Next instant is Giant Growth. 1 drop of green, target creature gets +3/+3 until end of turn. Predator's Report is our next instant. We got 1 green, 2 colorless. Choose a target creature you control. You gain life equal to that creature's power plus its toughness. Aerial Predation, we have 2 of. Destroy target creature with flying, and you gain 2 life. So, that is the instance of the deck. Let's get into the creatures. We got 2 Borderland Rangers of this deck. We got the 3-drop green mana, 1 green, 2 colorless. When it enters the battlefield, you search a library for basic land, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. Then we have 2 Humbler of Mortals in this deck. It is a 2 green, 6-drop, 2 green, 4 colorless. When it enters the battlefield, when it or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, creatures you control gain trample until end of turn. And this is a 5/5. The Borderland Ranger is a 2/2. Sorry for not mentioning that. We have 3 beautiful, amazing Woodborn Behemoths in this deck. 5-drop, 2 green, 3 colorless. As long as you control 8 or more lands, Woodborn Behemoth gets a +4/+4 and has trample. And originally it's a 4/4. So if you have 8 or more lands, it gets an 8/8 with trample. We have 2 Elvish Mystics. 1-drop, adds green mana to your pool, and it's a 1/1. Good cards to have out in the beginning of the game. We have 2 new cards, Terra Stompers. They cannot be countered, and they're a trample with 8/8. The mana cost is 6. 3 green, 3 colorless. We have 2 Nemesis of Mortals. These are beautiful because they're 6 mana cost originally. It costs 1 less colorless mana for each creature card in your graveyard. And it has a Monstrosity 5 that costs 9 mana, costs 1 less colorless for each creature card in your graveyard, and it gives it 5+1/+1, so it'll become a 10/10. Originally, it's a 5/5. So, that's absolutely outstanding. We have the next card in the deck here is a Deadly Recluse. Good cards to have out in the beginning of the game, good cards for defense against flying. We got 1 green, 1 colorless, and we have 3 of these bad boys. Reach and Death Touch with 1/2. We got 2 Duskdale Worms. 7/7 trample, 7 mana cost, 2 green, 5 colorless. As you guys can see, amazing card. We have a Garruk's Companion. 3/2 with trample and a 2-drop green. Vulpine Goliath. 2 green, 4 colorless, trample 6/5. Garruk's Horde, one of the best cards in the deck. It is a 7-drop, 2 green, 5 colorless, trample. Play with the top card of your library revealed. You can cast the top card of your library if it's a creature card. Do this only as you can cast. Do this only anytime you could cast a creature card. You may cast the spell's cost. So you have to pay the mana. But still. Nessian Corsair is our next card in here. A Centaur Corsair. 1 green, 2 colorless, and it's a 3/3. Also, we got this bad boy right here. Colossal of Akros. 8 colorless mana. Defender and indestructible. Monstrosity 10 costs 10 colorless mana. You guys can see right there. Gives it 10+1/+1s. As long as it's monstrous, it has trample and can attack as though it didn't have defender. It would be a 20/20 with trample. That's insanity. Our next new Magic 15 card, again, is Siege Worm. 7 mana, 2 green, 5 colorless, Convoke. Your creature can help cast a spell. Each creature you tap while casting the spell pays for 1 colorless and or mana of the cost. And it's a trample 5/5. Garruk's Pack Leader is a 5-drop, 1 green, 4 colorless. Whenever another creature with power 3 or greater enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. 4/4. Awesome card. Let's get into the enchantments and artifacts or whatever. First one first, Bow of Nylea. This card is a big game changer. Got 3 drop, 2 colorless, 2 green, 1 colorless. Attacking creatures you control have Death Touch. You can tap 1 green and 1 colorless and this card, and you choose to either put a +1/+1 on a target creature, deal 2 damage to a target creature with flying, gain 3 life, or put up to 4 target cards from your graveyard on the bottom of your library in any order. That's amazing. Our next card that's really good for this deck, boom, Blankwood Armor. It's a 3-drop, 1 green, 2 colorless. Enchanted creature gets a +1/+1 for each forest you control. Since it's an all-green deck, it gets boosted all to hell. Great card. Our next beautiful card of the deck, Rancor. 1 green mana. Enchanted creature gets a +2 attack and has trample. When it's put into the graveyard from the battlefield, return it to your hand. So it doesn't die, it just comes right back to your hand. Ordeal of Nylea is our last enchantment. 1 green, 1 colorless, enchanted creature. Enchanted creature attacks, put a +1/+1 on it. If it has 3 or more, sacrifice Ordeal of Nylea. The +1/+1s remain on there. And we have... And it is a... When you sacrifice it, you search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, and shuffle your library. So it's amazing. Then we have our last and certainly not least card. The newest Planeswalker, the most expensive Planeswalker in all of the Magic 15 cards. Nessia World Taker. 2 green mana, 3 colorless. +1, basic lands you control become a 4/4 elemental creature with trample, and it's still a land. +1, untap 4 target forest. -7, search your library for any number of basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Those lands become 4/4 elemental creatures with trample, and they're still lands. This card, I looked up the price, and it's about $40 for just this card. Other than that, I got this out of a booster pack. Out of the 2015 Deck Builders Toolkit. It's amazing. The odds of you getting it, it's randomized. But still, great card if you have it. Oh my god, it's amazing. I haven't even used it yet, but the effects just, oh my god. Anyway, I'm glad you guys came to watch my video again of Magic the Gathering Deck Tech. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Pac-Man Troll signing off. Thank you, and have a good day.